#1 player in the country, Shaedon Sharpe. This guy is elite offensively, an exceptional shot maker from the outside. He's got great vertical bounce. He's good for one slam dunk every single game. He's relentless on his offensive attack, and he's easy to play with. He doesn't hunt his shots, but he scores big points.
London, Ontario native Shaedon Sharpe has drawn a lot of buzz this season. After reclassifying to go to Kentucky halfway through the college season in January, not playing a single college game, and now entering the 2022 NBA draft as a projected top 6 pick, it's safe to say Sharpe is quite polarizing. It doesn't help he's just labeled himself as someone that'll be one of the greatest basketball players ever either. That's gonna need some work if he wants to get there. Although Sharpe has had quite a busy year, people really don't know a lot about him, and I think he could be the biggest boomer bust player in the 2022 NBA draft. But why? Who the hell even is Shaedon Sharpe, and who should be looking to pick him up in the 2022 NBA draft? If you guys enjoy the video and you enjoy consistent NBA related content on the draft, free agency, whatever, etc., then consider subscribing. I try to put out 1.5 to 2 vids a week. So if that interests you, consider hitting a like and a sub. Let's get back to the video. Shaedon Sharpe is a top 6 projected player in the 2022 NBA draft. But how did he get there? Shaedon Sharpe was #1 ranked in the high school class of 2022 before reclassifying to the high school class of 2021 and then entering into the 2022 NBA draft. Born in London, Ontario, the 6'6", 200-pound wing went to HB Secondary School as a freshman and led the school to the state championship equivalent in the province of Ontario in Canada. After this successful season, Shaedon moved to Sunrise Christian Academy in Bel Air, Kansas as a sophomore. He had a limited role and limited playing time as well, and so he decided to move to Dream City Christian Academy in Glendale, Arizona as a junior. And this is where he really made a name for himself. But in between his sophomore and junior year, he played with Canada at the FIBA U16s in Brazil, and he averaged 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists as Canada got a silver medal. In his junior year at Dream City Christian Academy, Sharpe averaged 24 points and 6 rebounds as he shot up to #1 in the 2021 high school class. At the end of his 2021 junior season, Sharpe played in the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League, and he turned up his production and really cemented himself as the #1 overall player in the 2022 high school class, as he averaged 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists for UPlay Canada. And he really showcased his finished high school product of elite athleticism with a supposed 49-inch max vertical. That's pretty ridiculous. And his shot creating and shooting ability with a 6'11.5" wingspan, with shades of Paul George in his game with his elite shot creating and shooting and athleticism as it all came together. Going into his senior year in high school, Sharpe eventually reclassified in January 2022 to the NBA draft class, but people didn't know if he was going to be eligible or not. But he decided to enroll in Kentucky with a possible plan to play that year, but he eventually didn't play, and Coach Cal said he wouldn't play at all that season and would lead the Kentucky Wildcats next year. But on April 21st, Sharpe enrolled in the 2022 NBA draft and eventually kept his name in, which meant he wouldn't return to Kentucky at all, and he essentially just finessed the whole college basketball system. So after enrolling into the 2022 NBA draft, it's quite clear Shaedon Sharpe is a massive boomer bust guy. He's a massive boomer bust guy because he hasn't played any college or pro basketball for more than a year. And the gap between high school and college can make or break players like Sharpe, even if they're as talented as he is. Tons of guys that come from high school to college that are top 15 recruits, top 10 recruits even, they sometimes fall off the face of the earth just because that college jump is too big for them. So I think some people are worried about that with Sharpe, but usually it doesn't happen as much to guys that are cemented top 5 guys like Sharpe is. A ton of NBA scouts are completely mystified about his game because they've seen him in pre-draft workouts and they can tell that he's got tons of talent, but that skip year there is just really tough for a lot of NBA scouts to predict what it's going to be like in the NBA level. It's one thing to go from high school to college, and some people can't even do that. Never mind high school to the NBA, as the NBA is just getting completely more talented as the years go on. Historically, it's been hit or miss on guys recently who have skipped college to work out or play very minimally at the college level. Anthony Simons, who was quite a high recruit, chose to work out instead of going to college and is turning into an all-star caliber player at the NBA level, so that one worked out pretty well. Michael Porter Jr. and James Wiseman played very little games at the college level. Wiseman played 2 games and MPJ only played a handful as he went out with a back injury. Bol was another example as well, as he hurt his foot after he was dominating at Oregon in his one and only college season. And MPJ and Bol dropped far due to injury problems, and both of them have been up and down in their NBA careers so far. MPJ was definitely worth the gamble, and he's showed his talent when he's been healthy, but Bol just hasn't gotten the opportunity that some of these other guys have had. And James Wiseman clearly has talent as well, as he just won his first NBA championship, but he really had nothing to do with that, and he's had injury problems himself, even though that wasn't why he only played 2 games at Memphis. The first team that I think should look to draft Sharpe is the Sacramento Kings. It would be an interesting fit next to Fox or Davion Mitchell, as Sharpe can play the 2 or 3, and he could be another massive scoring option for Sacramento next to Fox or potentially Davion if he can develop like I think he will. Sharpe could be another good fit for the Detroit Pistons if Jaden Ivey is not available, and either one of those guys could fit next to Cade Cunningham. Sharpe could be another go-to scorer for the Pistons next to Cade Cunningham, and Sharpe could also be a perfect option for the Pacers as well. He could be the real go-to scorer on that team, next to a playmaking guard like Halliburton in the Pacers' backcourt. Sharpe is the kind of polarizing prospect and one that splits opinions so much. We're looking at a situation where we could look back and say, why did he go so high? Or how was he not number 1? In my opinion, Sharpe should be picked somewhere between the 4 and 10 range, because he's got Paul George-like skill, which is quite evident if you see his highlights. But he's also got a Cam Reddish floor with a little bit less defense, but he's got possible defensive upside with a 6'11" and a half wingspan. And even a Cam Reddish type player has tons of upside still, and I think it would be worth the gamble if you can fit him somewhere in the 4 to 10 range. In my opinion, Sharpe will be the steal of the draft if he falls outside of the top 10 range, and if a team gives him a chance despite his mystery year. Maybe he will be one of the greatest basketball players of all time, just like he said. If you guys enjoyed this video, I've got another one right here. 3 perfect fits for teams in the 2022 NBA draft that I think would be possible for them to draft. You can check that out right here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And as always, stay rested. See you in the next one.